The aftermath of the Anthony Davis-Luka Doncic trade has been pretty rough, especially for the Mavericks front office. They're definitely not being viewed too lightly by the Maverick fanbase. I mean, when you trade away a franchise player and a 25-year-old one like Luka Doncic, obviously that's going to come with controversy. And well, we have yet to see what Anthony Davis really does for them. Looked great in his Maverick debut, but shortly after it, or actually during it, got hurt, so that only made the trade worse for them, and especially with the combined injuries to Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Dwight Powell, and pretty much the entire Mavericks frontcourt at this point, so yeah, obviously not a good look there. But if there is one good thing to take away from it, one good piece they got from the trade, and a currently healthy and very productive piece for their team, it would definitely have to be Max Christie. You know, kind of regarded as the throw-in player in the trade by some people, the forgotten member of the trade, and not really a widely known player from the trade, he's definitely making a name for himself right now. After arriving in Dallas in 6 games so far, the guy's put up about 17 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, and shooting 49% from the field and 45% from 3. Having yet to score under 15 points to their team, again 6 straight games in a row now, and that's nearly the entirety of what we did with the Lakers, only doing that 7 times with their team, and that's in about 3 years, over 100 total games, and nearly all of them came this season prior to being traded. So yeah, the guy's obviously liking the improved opportunity with their team, the bigger role with their team, and simply more confidence from the head coaching staff in what he's able to do on the court. Definitely liking it, and definitely proving to be a good addition to their team too. And coming from a Lakers fan, I'm really not that shocked by it. Yes, obviously very impressed by it, don't get me wrong, but really not that surprised by it. I for one always felt like and kind of thought he could become this if given a bigger role, which the Mavericks are finally giving him too. And again, we're only talking about a 21-year-old here, so obviously he hasn't had that much opportunity to fill a big role, but in the 2 months prior to being traded, he was filling a fairly large role for their team, entering their starting lineup, kind of being their 4th or 5th option at times, defending the best player on the court for them, whether that be on the wing or the point of attack, so all around filling a pretty big role for them, contributing about 11 points per game on 40% 3-point shooting, and not to mention playing great defense on top of it, taking on the toughest perimeter matchup for them, whether it's at the point of attack or the wing, he can do that for them, and now he's doing that for their team too. Like I mentioned though, it's really about the improved and bigger role for him that he's now filling for their team compared to what he filled on the Lakers team. Not only being a catch and shoot guy, an off-ball player with the occasional on-ball play, or the guy that simply creates a shot for himself at the end of the shot clock. No, it's no longer about that. They're actually drawing up plays for him, letting him isolate here and there, even the pick and roll ball handler at times too, and it's been very impressive to watch. Whether you're talking about growth or simply what he could do without being allowed to do it, he's now filling a much bigger role for their team and definitely thriving within it. And for example, here's the play between Max Christie and Najee Marshall against the Golden State Warriors prior to the All-Star break, with them clearing out the weak side for Christie, running a DHO between him and Najee Marshall, trying to get the switch onto Kevon Looney, but even without it, attacks Moses Moody off the dribble, really putting his shoulder and initiating contact, something that Christie really struggled at when he entered the NBA, being a bit slim and kind of avoiding contact rather than trying to finish through it, but definitely not anymore. Whether it's simply confidence or more muscle, whatever it might be, not afraid to do that. Initiated the contact at Moody here, then finished the contact with a really sweet Euro step layup, and that's only the beginning of it for him. Whether you're talking about that, creating out by isolation, or a play directly drawn up for him, Christie can finish, find his own shot, or simply make a play out of nothing, which really is something that he was not allowed to do before, or at least not very much of. And with the great 3-point shooting threat that he's become and now has been recognized as, it's made life a whole lot easier on Christie. Now when defenders close out heavily on him, much like Buddy Hield does on this play, he's no longer afraid to dribble drive and really make the defense collapse onto him or take the mid-range shot if they don't do it. In this case, they do collapse on him, Draymond Green steps up, and therefore Christie dumps it off to Kessler Edwards at the rim, reading the play perfectly, not getting too sped up, looking for his shot, but not only looking for his shot, getting tunnel vision, and reading the defense perfectly. And whether it's that, or him taking the 3-point shot, even if it's through a light or heavy contest, he's shown the ability to do both and has become a really good option within their offense, even arguably their second option behind Kyrie Irving. And then for the final cherry on top here, we gotta talk about the contract days under. Definitely thank the Lakers for this one, but they somehow signed him to a 4-year, $28 million contract. And don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, but for the NBA right now, and definitely for a quality role player at that, it's really not that much money at all. Only $7 million per year for the next 4 years, and we're talking about a salary cap that's pushing about $150 million, so if Christie's only taking up $7 million per year of your salary cap, all the way up until he's 25 years old and probably not even quite entering the prime of his NBA career, then yeah, you're gonna have plenty of room to create a good, well-rounded team. I mean, by that point, when he is 25, I can only imagine what he'll become, whether he's a 15 to 20 point per game guy, a 20 plus point per game guy, the best 3-and-D player in the entire league. That might be my bold prediction, something along the lines of a Mikal Bridges type of guy, who could be about a 22 to 25 plus point per game guy in a bad team, or with a more efficient team, a better team, about 18 points per game, with elite defense, great 3-point shooting, and all around that 3-and-D role player that you want in your team. And again, somehow for about $7 million per year, all the way up until 2028. So yeah, safe to say they have an absolute steal in their hands. The guy's only going to get better, that contract's only going to become more valuable, and all around the Mavericks should grow with him. And with the topic of debate about the trade, meaning the Luka Doncic-Anthony Davis trade, kind of being the Mavericks got older and their window shortened, at the bare minimum here, they did get a long-term piece with Max Christie. Again, only 21 years old, definitely improving and showing rapid improvement with their team, both offensively and even more room for growth on defense. Like I said, I think Christie can become a Mikal Bridges type of player. No, not a direct comparison to Bridges, but more about the role that he plays for a team and for a good team at that. Not simply just a 3-and-D player averaging about 10 points per game, but more like a 3-and-D plus player, averaging between 15 to 20 points per game. I mean, if he can do it at 21, imagine what he can do at 25 to 28 years old. Then on top of that, with good defense, taking on the toughest matchups, and all around being that ultimate team guy for your team, and a guy that you definitely want in your team. And no matter what way you look at it, the guy's a great piece for them long term and should be with their team for the next decade if they don't screw that up. All joking aside though, what do you guys think? How have you felt about Max Christie with the Mavericks in his short time there, and what he might be able to become with their team? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.